now from Radio Nation on Air America, Laura Flanders.
All right, welcome everybody. Well, this is a part of what Robert Brustein had to say in an article in the Huffington Post earlier this year. Robert Brustein was the founding director of the Yale Repertory Theater and the American Repertory Theater, and a whole lot more. The period of the Great Impeachment has been followed by a period of intense retrospection. This is the process that has occupied Congress during most of January 2008, when, for the first time in American history, an entire administration was unceremoniously dumped from office. Yes! One by one, every Bush appointee has been accused and duly convicted of a large variety of criminal offenses, including trumped-up, non-existent weapons of mass destruction and other fake evidence, before launching a major war, disregarding the universal public cry for disengagement from Iraq, politicizing the justice system, corrupting so-called health care, theologizing science, increasing global warming, feeding corporate interests, lying under oath, suppressing FBI reports, engaging in warrantless wiretapping, packing the Supreme Court, and other recurrent shows of malfeasance and incompetence. After Congress finally agreed, under pressure from us, to act against these offenses, the new government decided it would be wasteful to completely disregard the considerable resources and talents of the previous administration. When President Nancy Pelosi took office in March 2008, she proposed, after consultation with Vice President Michael Moore, that a number of former Bush officials be allowed to remain in Washington in order to perform certain tasks and duties that she and members of her cabinet might be too busy to handle. Former President Bush, for example, has been invited to take on the role of official greeter. Whenever Pelosi is preparing to travel abroad on Air Force One, Bush will be asked to put on his blue suit and precede her in erect military posture, a few strands of sprayed hair floating in the wind, either yanked by his lively dog or yanking along his reluctant wife, smiling and waving at the crowds, saluting generals, pointing happily at people he pretends to recognize. He's particularly well suited for this position because of a hearing problem that apparently prevents him from knowing when he's being booed. Former Vice President Cheney has been appointed official appointee. He will have no powers, only titles, his chief function being to whisper behind the hand into the ear of the official greeter as the latter walks, waves, and smiles his way through booing crowds. He will also serve as honorary president of the National Rifle Association, a title that permits him to travel freely with his favorite hunting rifle, the only stipulation being that the warning theme from Jaws be played whenever another human being comes near. The president's former press secretary, Tony Snow, is to be given a permanent part in a touring production of Alice in Wonderland. He'll be playing the Dormouse, where he will indulge his redoubtable penchant for chop logic and obfuscation. It's expected his performance will feature multiple turns with contradictory arguments, running around in circles, perpetual spin. Alberto Gonzales, Bush's disgraced Attorney General, will be installed as the new figurehead for a foundation, where his rambling speeches, dotted with phrases like "I don't recall" and "I don't recollect," will stimulate giving by wealthy donors who are concerned over the growing loss of memory in America. It's not too late, people. President Pelosi is currently welcoming proposals from the public about how other members of the Bush administration might at last become of some use to the nation. If you have any ideas, please send them along. That's what Robert Brustein had to say. This is what I have to say. Arrest Cheney first.